My son asked me to respond to a request for the story of the most memorable experience you've ever had with a wild animal. This is the story of the time that I punched a turkey. The way that this happened was we live in a house out in the country, and I had taken the clothes out to hang on the clothesline. I think it was early spring, and I was hanging the clothes up on the line, and I'm facing our house, and the wilderness or the forest is to the back of me, and I'm reaching down and pulling clothes out and everything else like that. And as I'm standing there, I feel something rub up against my leg. Now there's a barn nearby, and there are barn cats. Cats love me. I figure it's a cat that has reached up and is, brushing up against my leg affectionately. And so I reach down to scritch the top of its tiny little flea infested head, and I contact something on the way down with my closed fist because I'm reaching down to about where a cat would be, which they can get up to your knee if they're lucky, if they're doing well, if they're particularly large. And this is about mid thigh. My fist connects with something, and I'm thinking this is a giant cat or this is some great enormous animal. And I look down and I see this pool of brown, and I don't know what it is. My eyes can't really take it in because I'm looking at it expecting to see a cat, so that's what's still lodged in my brain is a cat, and it's clearly not one. And then eventually it resolves into mostly because of the fact that it goes because I just punched it in the head. I just punched a turkey. I just punched a wild turkey. There's a turkey next to me. A turkey brushed up against my knee. What's going on? Before I can react or do anything about the fact that I've punched a turkey and the turkey is still next to me, the turkey runs off. And I see that there's two other turkeys with it. It's a tom turkey, it's a male turkey, and the other two are toms as well. I think to this day that it was some kind of hazing ritual where it was like, go bother the Canadian, go run up to him, it'll be great. And then he did, and there he's now running back going, you idiot, he punched me. So I finish hanging up the laundry, sort of mechanically at this point, adrenaline running high. And as I do so, I remember that the New Hampshire Department of Fish and Game has asked that we contact them if we have any wild turkeys that we see on our property, if we have an encounter with any wild turkeys. So I go back inside and I get the little flyer that they'd sent out about it, and I call up the hotline and say, hey, I just had an encounter with a wild turkey. And they're like, what was the nature of your encounter? What kind of encounter did you have? And I said, well, I was hanging up clothes on the line, and a turkey came up, and I punched it. And there's a pause on the line, and the guy says, could you hold for a minute, please, sir? And he puts me on hold. And as soon as he does, I'm like, oh, no, wait. Did I break the law? Did I punch a wild animal? Is that against the law? And then I realize, he's got a sheet in front of him, I'm sure, where he has to write out, here's what happened with this person. Nowhere on there, on that sheet, is there a space for type of encounter, fight. I don't think that shows up on their sheet. And sure enough, about 30 seconds later, a new person comes on and says, hi, I'm Steve. I'm the supervisor here. Could you please tell me the story of what happened? So I explain the story to him, and he says, we'll put that down as other encounter. So this is a story for all of you about the time that I punched a turkey. And Steve, if you're out there somewhere on Twitter, I hope I added a little bit of levity to your day. Thank you. Happy Saturday.